Hello everybody, I'm back, and today I will be reviewing the Syma Speed S5 helicopter. But before we get to that, I just want to say, if you guys could please excuse the mess. It is right after the holiday here, and still got the tree up. Got the Lego set up here with the little train station and ski resort and trains and a couple other things in there. But one other thing I wanted to say is my wife is a crafter. She does a lot of crafts, and this year, for a gift, she made for me a giant poo. And she did present it to me in a bag. And all I got to say is at least she didn't set it on the porch and light it on fire. But I did tell her, you need to make a bunch of little ones, and I can set those around the house, and then that way you can actually tell me my poo is everywhere. So I figure for this video today, move him over here. Hopefully he will be in the video the whole time, most of the time. He will be our mascot just for this video. So back to this. Syma Speed S5 helicopter. So let me get the camera back up here on the tripod, and I will be right back with this review. Okay, I'm back, and let's see here. Hopefully you guys can see this, all right? You got the Syma S5 Speed S5 helicopter. It is an indoor flyer. It is an infrared transmitter. It's only 3-channel, so all your yaw and your pitch is on the right stick. There's no roll, so it does not just drift side to side. It's only pitch and yaw, and your throttle is on the the left stick. So here we go. It's got a gyroscopic system. It's got a light in the front. It's got voltage protection, so that way if you crash, it doesn't overload the motor or anything and burn things out. And there's a LiPo battery supposedly in here. And we're going to go over everything here with this. It does come in white and red, but I do have a red one over here. And we're going to go ahead and fly that one instead. Now, just bear with me here. Get it off the charge there. And it did fully charge. As a matter of fact, the light on the thing just now went on. And it took about 35 minutes to charge. So that's not too bad. And the book, it comes with a book. And it is pretty thorough in there. And it says it takes up to 70 minutes or something like that to charge, but it only took 35. It comes with a USB charger and a spare tail rotor. It does not come with spare blades, main rotor blades. And it comes with your transmitter, and we'll go over that here in just shortly. As for the copter, and the package, it is tied down with these wires and stops on the back, which are always a pain in the butt to get them out. But we're going to set those aside, and I'm going to set this tail rotor aside, set the charger aside, and the manual aside, even though I'll just go over everything that's in the manual here real briefly here. Now the copter itself, it is quite flexy. I mean, the plastic parts are pretty flexy. It is a pretty solid canopy, but it's still flexible. This is pretty flexible back here. The tail fin, the tail rotor blade, I don't want to go bending it, but it's pretty flexible. I think it'll be quite resilient in crashes. It does have a coaxial design, like any 3-channel helicopter, or most 3-channel helicopters anyway. And the blades on here, if you break these, you're going to have to find some new ones, and they are readily available. I have seen them out there for the Symas like this. Now I got to tell you, I have flown this a couple of times, and I have crashed it, and I have smacked these blades off of some stuff pretty dang good, and it's held up so far perfectly. I mean, there's just a little scuff mark there, nothing bad. I've actually smacked these blades on the ends, no chips, no cracks, nothing like that so far, so they'll probably hold up pretty good. There is a metal shaft here for the tail boom, and on the other side here, there is the on-off switch. I don't know if you guys can actually see this. There's a little tiny on-off switch right there. And down is off and up is on that switch. It actually says on and off on the copter itself. So this thing is fully charged, and this is the one we will be flying here in just a minute. We're going to see what kind of flight time we get out of it on a full charge. So let's go over the transmitter real quick. We have an infrared transmitter, and of course, here's your throttle. There is no yaw here at all. It's just throttle, nothing more. Here is your yaw right here. That is your yaw, and this is your pitch, up and down. So everything is controlled from here except for the throttle. And I got to tell you, this throttle is a little bit touchy, especially with a fresh battery. Now here's your power switch. Here's your trim switches. And this switch is two functions. One is to change from A or B channel, so you can fly two of these at the same time. You set this on A or B and then turn on your copter and then bind it. You have to bind it by going up and down to bind it. And the other function is, and you have to hold down the button to change from A to B, and this light will flash once or flash twice. Once for A and twice for B. Also, just tapping this button is the rate switch. The light will flash once or twice for rate 1 or rate 2. Okay, so let's open this up, see what we got in here. I'm going to set this screw aside here. Hopefully I don't lose that thing. Okay, and this snaps on pretty nice. You won't have to necessarily put the screw back in there, but I would put it in there just to keep from losing it. And it does take 4 AA's. So let's get these in here the right direction. There. I just got some cheap batteries right now. And we'll snap this back on here, and I'm not going to put the screw back in. Well, you know what? I'm going to put the screw back in there just so I don't lose it. Yeah, let's get it to snap on. Get the slide right. There it goes. Okay, where'd that screw go? There it is. Almost lost it already. Let's get this back in here. All right, so I'm going to go over the transmitter here so you can just see what happens. Here's your power switch, and now the light's on. These are your trims. Now, before turning on the helicopter, if you want to change from channel A or channel B to channel B, it's default in channel A, so you have to hold this center button down, and there it goes flashing twice. That changes it to channel B. So then you turn on your helicopter and then bind it by going up and down, and then it's on channel B. To change it back is channel A, 1 flash. Now default's A, so you start out on A. If you have a second helicopter you want to fly, you bind the one to A, and then you turn on your other transmitter, set it for B, and then turn on your other copter and bind it to B. That's the only way to do it. So you can fly 2 at a time. But right now I'm just going to turn this back off for a second. Turn it back on, make sure it's on A. And the other function is speed switch. It's got 2 speeds. Right now it's on rate 1. Tap the button, it flashes twice, it's on rate 2. Tap it again, it's back to rate 1, it flashes once. So there's rate 2, rate 1. Hold it down, there's channel B. Hold it down again, there's channel A. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how that works. And like I said, this is just 3 channels, so there's yaw, pitch, throttle. That's all there is to it. So let's get this turned on. Turn it on and set it down right there. And I will have my little trusty timer here so we can get a flight time. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to turn this off for a second and let me get my camera adjusted here so we can see the flight in the room. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and let's hope this camera is adjusted well. Let's get the copter turned on. Flip the little switch on the side right here. Flip that up. Light comes on. It starts flashing. Let's set it down. Then we turn on the transmitter. And it is on A by default. Go up, down to bind it. And hopefully you can see the helicopter It is bound now. Okay. And I'm going to turn on my trusty little timer here. Start that. And we're going to see what kind of flight time we get out of this on a full charge. Now, I got to tell you, this throttle is a little touchy, especially with a fresh battery. So let's see if we can get this up and get it stabilized. See if it needs any kind of trim. Now, this does not have the punch to recover from a drop, so it just does not have the power. So let's get this trimmed out here. And one thing that's odd that I did notice is the trim switches. Typically, you have, when you're drifting to the left, you need to trim it to the right. Well, if it's drifting to the left, you have to hit the left trim. It's backwards from what the typical is. I don't see that as a big deal, but you just got to remember, if yours is doing that as backwards, you know, use the left trim button to trim it to quit drifting left. Right now it's stable. I am hands off. Oops, I bumped the throttle there. Now I'm hands off, and it is stable. No hands on the transmitter whatsoever. So it hovers really nice. And see, it doesn't have a lot of punch there to recover. So I'm in rate 1 here. Let's see what we got. Bring it back over this way a little bit. All right, we're going to get the yaw on this. There's your yaw, if you can see that. Get it back in the middle here. There's your yaw on rate 1. Here's your pitch. Back and forth. Rate 1. Okay, let's switch it to rate 2. That's the middle switch. Just tap it. It flashes twice. And now we got, here's your pitch. There is a little bit more pitch there. It is a little bit quicker. Yaw rate looks about the same. I don't think that yaw rate's much different. Oops, I just hit it on the floor there. And I gotta pick it up. So let's get it back up in the air here. All right. And I'm stuck on the ceiling. Boy, that throttle is touchy. Okay, battery's still a little fresh, so it is a lot more touchy. So let's just fly this around. We are in rate 2 right now, so this is as fast as it's going to go. And it's not really, it is not a speedy helicopter. This is as fast as it's going to go. It is good for a beginner. I can tell you, if you don't want to get into something super expensive or even spend more than 15, 20 bucks on something, this would be the way to go. I got these on a clearance, Christmas clearance. So I paid a little less than what they normally run for. It was marked on the box as $12.99. And then they had a markdown discount, and it was like $7.99 or something. And then when I went to the register, it rang up as $5. So for $5, I couldn't go wrong for these. I got a white one and the orange one here. It's supposed to say be red, but it looks orange. It really looks more orange than anything else. So I got 2 of these, $5 a piece. That wasn't bad. But if you find them around 15 bucks, 20 bucks, that's about the normal price on them. If you pay 10 or 15, you got a decent deal. And this thing is a pretty decent flyer for someone just starting on something, wants to get something just to mess around with in the house. I would say, yeah, for 15 bucks it'd be all right. But Syma, they usually make some half decent stuff. I mean, pretty decent things. I got a few things from Syma. They're pretty resilient. They're pretty well built. This seems to be not much different. It is very stable. There is a little bit of wobble here and there, but you got to expect that out of a helicopter anyway. And we're doing pretty good on flight time here. It looks pretty good. I haven't timed the flight time, even though I did fly it a couple of times, and boy, it took me a little bit to go back from at least a 4 channel to a 3 channel. I kept trying to yaw with the left stick, and it wasn't going anywhere, of course, because there's no yaw on the left stick on this thing. And of course I crashed it into stuff, and so far the blades have held up pretty well. No cracking, no chipping, no nothing like that of the blades. And I've smacked them pretty good off the table here, off the metal legs, off the plastic table itself. I've hit it off the ceiling already. Boy, this thing does have a long flight time. It's not like those some of those micro quads. They 3-4 minutes. This is going quite a while here. And like I said, this is rate 2. This is as fast as it goes. I do want to mention that this has no indicator light to tell you when the battery's low, as far as I can tell. But we will find out here this time. Make sure. Boy, after what I've been doing so far, getting back into RC, this is kind of boring almost for me anyway. I don't know about you guys. But I'd say this is a really good little flyer for the kids. If they want to do a helicopter, something they can start out with, younger kids. But just know that throttle is pretty touchy, especially with the fresh battery. It'll take them a while to get that throttle management. It does not have altitude hold at all. Although I have seen some helicopters out there that are altitude hold. This one is not. But yeah, good little thing to play around with in the house. Flying around in the house. If you like helicopters over quads, or just want something to mess around with, nice long flight time here. So we can do some kind of a funnel with it. Battery's getting a little soft, but there's kind of a funnel, I guess. Figure with a fresh battery it might be a little tighter. Just had to go up a notch on the throttle to keep it in the air, just like a tiny bit. There you go. Say hello to the poo. All right, throttle's getting really soft here. I'm going to bring it back over this way so I can try to land it on the table when the battery quits. And there we go, full throttle. And of course it's going to go under the table. All right, that's it. The flight time's over. Get that picked up and stop the timer. We got 8 minutes and 47 seconds. Well, a few seconds for me to actually get over there and pick it up, but 8.5 minutes. That's pretty decent flight time here. Well, of course, now the light was flashing. After it's completely down and on the ground, it won't fly anymore. Now the light's flashing. So we're going to just turn that off, set that aside for a minute, turn off the transmitter. Let me try and get this camera back down here. Get it over here. There we go. Decent little helicopter for what I paid for it, and even if you spent 10-15 bucks on them, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. Just know that it is an indoor because it is infrared. It will not handle any wind, so I would say don't even have a fan going in the room. It will probably blow it all over the place, and you'll definitely crash. But yeah, I got the white one, and I got the orange one. Even though it's supposed to be red. That looks orange. It does not look red to me. Pretty nice looking canopy there. I don't see anything really weird about it. It's just a really nice, sharp little front end canopy. Nice heavier build of that plastic part right in here that holds this all together. That's a plastic fly bar. So that's probably part of the reason it's so resilient, is they use like a composite here that is really flexible. And I mean, look at this. You typically can't do that with these copter blades. But it did not come with a spare set of main blades, but I have seen them out there. They are readily available. You can get the spare blades. They're not a big deal. They're not very expensive at all. Nice little flexible. I think this thing will last a while. The body and everything will probably outlast the motors. So yeah, I'd say, yeah, if you want to get into something just to mess around in the house, even though it is only a 3-channel, if you don't mind having no yaw on your right stick, and just having your yaw and pitch on the right stick, yeah, right stick, just having your yaw and pitch on it, and no yaw over here and no roll, then yeah, if you don't mind 3-channel, I'd say okay. It's kind of tough for me because I'm used to at least 4-channel stuff, and going to a 3-channel, I kept trying to yaw over here, and my brain's saying there's no yaw there, but my thumb is still doing it because it's just habit. So if you're starting out with 3-channel, and you'll probably get used to it right away. If you're going back from 4-channel at least to 3-channel, probably get a little confusing like it does to me. That's why I've crashed it a few times, because I kept trying to yaw on it over here on the left stick, and there's no yaw in there. And I keep telling myself that because I keep messing up. But okay, Syma Speed S5, great for something if you just want to mess around in the house. Definitely not an outdoor flyer at all. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will catch you on the next one.